In marketing, we're very focused on technology, on messaging, copywriting, design. But what is the core, the foundation of all of that messaging, of the use of that technology? It is the value prop. I'm Daniel Bernstein, Director of Editorial Content at Marketing Sherpa. We're here at Marketing Sherpa Email Summit 2015 at the Media Center. And I'm joined right now by Jose Palomino, the President of Value Prop Interactive and a professor at Villanova University. Thanks for joining us, Jose.
Absolutely, Daniel, my pleasure.
So you're a featured speaker here at Email Summit. You're going to be talking about the value proposition. What is the value proposition and why is it so important to marketers?
Well, it's the core or central truth about whatever the offering is, whether it's a service or a product. And more importantly, it answers this question, which is why should anyone care? Especially in a space, in most categories these days, in a global economy, there are competitive spaces. There are multiple versions of that product available from multiple vendors. So buyers, whether it's a consumer buying a consumer product or a business looking at a business category, have so many choices to choose from that what gets lost in that is why choose brand A versus brand B. And so brand A may think that the things that set them apart are we have these 10 features, when in fact those 10 features are just table stakes, and all of them in the category have those 10 features. So what combination of those features, what maybe a particular characteristic of one of those features really set that offering apart. And candidly, if after really taking a good deep look at that, you find that you're just left with the table stakes, that's bad news, right? So a lot of times companies decide they don't want to look at it. Well, if we don't look at it, maybe it'll go away as a problem. The reality is like a toothache, it just gets worse. So you're better off confronting that bad news up front and then asking the hard questions, what would set us apart in a meaningful way to our target customers?
And then ultimately improving your offer for the customer.
Oh, absolutely, because that's going to create more value for the customer. It only matters if it matters to the customer. Just saying that, well, we used to sell laptops in black and now we're going to make them green and polka dot, that's different. No one else has green and polka dot, but did the customer even care? Unless you know there's a hidden market of green and polka dot laptop buyers, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I have a copy of your book here, Value Prop. We were talking about it, you interviewed 50 business leaders
absolutely.
To create this book. So what were some of their biggest challenges and what were some of the most innovative things they were doing to improve the customer, improve the value prop for the customer?
Well, the biggest challenge is the day-to-day routine of having to hit sales. If you're in a big company, you're in a quarterly, and these days a monthly cadence, you don't get a chance to pause and ask the question, are we even doing the right things? So that was one of the biggest challenges. That was a bit of an eye-opener for us as we did the research, is why aren't you slowing down a little bit? Well, they can't. They're publicly held companies in many cases, and they're hard charging along, and they have to try to hit the numbers no matter what. So that's a sales-centric focus, which can be a great strength in certain organizations, but again, can really keep you from doing the kind of introspection that you need to do to really sharpen your value proposition. So that was one of the big challenges. The things that did well were those organizations that understood that just having good marketing materials or even good lead gen, demand generation activities didn't really help any unless your sales team was tied into that in a B2B space. It'd be no different, frankly, than if you, on a B2C, if you were trying to create people to call the 800 number, if you're not training the people answering the phone to take forward that value that you just promised on that very expensive TV ad, for example, it's an inconsistency. So getting rid of the inconsistencies in the messaging and the experience you were promising people, one of the key challenges, and the ones that did it well prospered and did well.
Yeah, really infusing, the value prop helps you infuse that value at every level. So
it has to be cultural. It has to be much more than just something that somebody in the boardroom said, this is a good idea. So, you have examples abound of companies that come up with a new tagline and think that will solve their eroding market share problem. It's not enough. We see some large retailers that became small retailers because they just could not really grasp the fact that their overall value, what they were bringing to the consumer, wasn't very different at all. And in fact, was deficient, wasn't even at table stakes levels.
Okay, so that's at the strategic business leader level. So I know we've been working on your presentation for a few months, going back and forth. We were talking about at the email marketer level. How does the email marketer set the value prop for, say, subscribing to a newsletter? Because again, it can be like table stakes. Just put it out there and hope someone subscribes.
Sure, so one of the things, and this is what I'll also be speaking on, are 5 key areas where every buyer gets stuck on these 5 areas, and until they can get past the stuck point, they almost find it impossible to make a purchase decision, even for free. So one of them would be, for example, who are these guys? They're offering it for free, but is it even worth my time?
Yeah.
So are they aligned with my interests? Do they feel like a company that can actually help me in this area, even for free? Because nothing's really free.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't ask for your credit card, I know it's going to take time, it's going to fill my inbox, for example. Another one would, of course, be just looking at it, does it solve my problem? Technically, does it really address that concern? And different offerings have different hurdles in each of those 5 areas that I'll be speaking about. So you have to really understand your customer. And that's really perhaps the key message in all of this, is you have to get into your buyer's head. If you don't understand why your buyer functions the way he or she does, what matters to them, what they really are passionate about, you'll never align your value proposition to what really moves for them. And if you do that, it's not just that you'll sell more stuff, is you're actually creating value in the world. And I don't want to get overly existential, but it's an important thought. While we're at it in business, we're making stuff, we're selling stuff, we're offering services, why not make it be things that matter to people at some level? And if we can connect with that, with what matters to them, it's going to be an easy engagement. It's no longer selling, it's engaging in a way that matters, and they welcome it. Now you're answering my questions, you're helping me understand how to take advantage of this. I actually appreciate even more communication from you.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, marketing isn't just some snazzy headline trying to make up for a deficient product. It's a way to get customers to choose the best product.
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right, well, Jose, I look forward to seeing what you say tomorrow on the stage. And you can find out much more, see case studies and how-to information to help you improve your marketing and your value proposition at marketingsherpa.com.